I didn't wake up one morning and decide to ruin my life. That's not how this story starts. It started with pressure, with noise, with the feeling that I had to be more confident, more energetic, more something than I already was. Cocaine didn't walk into my life wearing danger. It came dressed as a solution, a shortcut, a way to feel okay faster. At first, it felt like clarity, like strength, like suddenly I was sharper, funnier, unstoppable. I thought I had found the version of myself I was supposed to be. What I didn't realize was that I wasn't gaining anything, I was borrowing. Borrowing happiness from the future. Borrowing calm, borrowing sleep. And the debt was building quietly. Nobody told me that addiction doesn't scream at the beginning. It whispers, it waits. It lets you believe you're still in control. And for a while, I was convinced I was. Then the balance shifted. The highs got shorter. The crashes got heavier. Mornings felt hollow. Food lost its taste. Music sounded flat. People I loved felt far away, even when they were right in front of me. The world slowly turned gray, and the only color left was the idea of the next hit. I didn't understand what was happening inside my brain back then. I just knew something was wrong with me. What I know now is that cocaine hijacks the brain's reward system. It floods it with dopamine, the chemical that tells us this matters. Over time, the brain stops producing joy naturally. It becomes dependent. Not because you're weak, but because your biology has been rewired. I wasn't chasing pleasure anymore. I was chasing normal. That's the part people don't see. Addiction isn't about getting high. It's about avoiding the low. The anxiety, the emptiness, the feeling that nothing will ever feel okay again unless you give in. Shame became my shadow. I hid. I lied. Not because I was evil, but because I was scared. Scared of being judged. Scared of losing people. Scared of admitting that something had control over me. The moment that changed everything wasn't dramatic. No sirens. No collapse. Just a quiet moment alone where I finally admitted the truth. This wasn't working anymore. The thing I thought was helping me was destroying me. Asking for help felt harder than quitting ever could. But it was also the bravest thing I've ever done. Recovery didn't happen overnight. It wasn't a straight line. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. I learned that treatment isn't about punishment, it's about repair. Doctors helped stabilize my body. Therapists helped me understand my patterns, my triggers, my escape routes. Cognitive behavioral therapy taught me how my thoughts pulled me back toward the drug and how to interrupt that loop. Trauma-informed therapy helped me face the pain I'd been running from long before cocaine ever entered my life. There's no miracle medication for cocaine addiction yet, but medicine still played a role. Treating anxiety, depression, sleep problems. Because recovery isn't just about stopping a substance, it's about rebuilding a nervous system that feels safe again. Group therapy changed me in ways I didn't expect. Sitting in a room with people who spoke my thoughts out loud shattered my shame. I wasn't alone. I wasn't broken beyond repair. I was human, dealing with something humans have struggled with forever. Relapse was part of my story. And I learned something important about it. Relapse isn't failure. It's information. It shows where support is missing, where pain still needs care. Every time I stood back up, I learned more about myself. Prevention matters now more than ever. I wish someone had explained addiction to me honestly when I was younger. Not with fear, not with exaggeration, but with truth. When people understand how drugs change the brain, curiosity loses its power. Knowledge protects. Conversation protects. Connection protects. Society plays a bigger role than we like to admit. When addiction is treated like a crime, people hide. When it's treated like a health issue, people heal. I healed faster when I stopped being punished for my pain and started being supported through it. I've seen the impact of organizations working quietly behind the scenes. NGOs offering counseling, rehabilitation, outreach. People who don't ask for perfection, just honesty. I've learned how global health organizations like the World Health Organization push for evidence-based treatment, prevention strategies, and policies that reduce stigma instead of reinforcing it. This isn't just an individual battle, it's a collective one. Families matter, friends matter, communities matter. One person believing in you when you can't believe in yourself can literally save your life. I know because it saved mine. The brain is more resilient than we're told. With time, with consistency, with care, it heals. Dopamine systems recover. Sleep returns. Laughter comes back unexpectedly, sometimes in the middle of an ordinary day when you realize you're actually okay. One day, I noticed music sounded good again. Another day, I woke up without dread sitting on my chest. These weren't miracles. They were milestones. Quiet victories that stacked up slowly. The future doesn't scare me the way it used to. It doesn't feel like a threat anymore. It feels like space, like possibility. If you're listening to this and you're struggling, hear this clearly. You are not weak. You are not a lost cause. And you are not alone. Addiction is not a moral failure. It's a condition that can be treated, managed, and healed. If you love someone who's fighting this battle, your compassion matters more than your anger. Your presence matters more than your lectures. Stay human with them. Recovery grows best in environments where shame can't survive. I don't tell this story because I'm proud of the addiction. I tell it because I'm proud of the recovery, because every honest story makes it easier for the next person to ask for help. Cocaine promised me confidence and control. Recovery gave me something better: clarity, peace, and the ability to feel again. I'm not defined by the worst chapter of my life. And neither are you. Hope didn't disappear. It was just waiting for me to come back.